Let's go.
Hello, and welcome to the Warp 9 wrap-up from Warp 9 Comics. I'm Dan, she is little T. We are from the internet. We'll be your friends. We're doing this one straight to YouTube this time. I'm not going to stream it just because it's been hectic here at the store, and it's just easier for us just to record it and then move on, so we'll go from there. So, hello YouTube.
Hi!
We're your friends. We're going to talk about some nerd stuff. Big week for lots of little collectibles, so we're going to do that. We got a little bit of comic stuff to go through, not a ton, and then, then we'll say Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah and Merry Kwanzaa and
Happy
all that
Saturnalia.
other good stuff. Yeah, weird magic stuff.
It's Roman.
What?
Saturnalia is Roman.
Magic stuff. It's wizards and whatnot, man. It's like, isn't that what Gandalf said to Frodo at one point in time or something? I don't know. Anyway, though. So, don't hate on Saturnalia. Why are you being such a hater?
You're being the hater.
Okay, whatever. Yeah. See, this is off to a great start. I'm taking those gifts back I gave you. Anyway. What do you want to kick it off with?
Should we start with toys first and then move on to comics?
It's pretty much what we've been doing since day one.
Yeah.
Probably not mess with the thing, huh?
Yeah.
First things first. So Marvel Legends is now doing some repack stuff with nicer figures, but in the classic cards. So there's a plus side and a downside with these things. Plus side, they look really cool, and the cards are really big and they're bright and colorful. And the downside is that the toys in them are actually really good, but to get to the toys, you're gonna have to rip them off the cards. So the only thing that I can think of is that maybe you want to buy 2 of each, which would be good. For us, obviously, they go for about $24.99 because we have to pay for more because Hasbro is, kind of douchey. But we got Wolverine. Whoop, wrong hand. Wolverine in the brown suit. You got the Punisher, and he's got a bazooka, which is just dope. You've got a re-release of the Pizza Spider-Man, and if you know anything about Marvel Legends, the Pizza Spider-Man is actually like a $45 figure now. At least it was going for that for quite a while. So you can get one of those instead for like $20-25, and you can get out and play with it. You got a Cap, you got a dope classic Iron Man. So these are really cool, and they make great gifts, obviously, because this is going to be kind of our little gift miss episode, too, because we had a ton of stuff come in this week. So, yeah, Marvel Legends, they're affordable, they're cool, and these are great for the collectors because of the colorful cards. So putting them on a wall looks really great. They also came out with a Black Widow, but obviously that was like the first one to sell out, mainly because, I got one. And then a few other people got one, and we only got 3 cases of those. It's a great Black Widow figure.
Black Widow is, like, super freaking awesome.
Yeah,
so.
She's, like, one of my favorite characters, so, yeah, I had to do it. We don't normally do a lot of pop stuff on this show, mainly because, there's a million of them. But this one was more, catered to our little niche of the world, because for one, it's a previews exclusive, so you can only get them if you have a previews account. I know FYE has previews accounts now and stuff, but at least it's somewhat for small businesses. You got Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, which is kind of funny. I've never been a Booster Gold fan at all, but I can tell you this set was really popular. I'm surprised we have one left today. But we do. We ordered about 5 of them. We will have the shiny metallic version, because there's 2 different ones they did. They're both previews exclusives, but the metallic version I found out through our rep that doesn't come out until January 10th. So for those of you who are waiting and you're like, it's supposed to be out, now I fall, man. I can only do so much. But Booster Gold and Blue Beetle 2-pack, they haven't really used that Blue Beetle in quite a while. Booster Gold has now been making more appearances in some of the comics, I believe Action Comics right now. So, come on in, get some Action Comics. From the Dorbs Rides, keeping with the Funko theme. We have Wonder Woman on her horse, which is like just about the cutest damn thing ever, because the horse is smiling. The horse is like, yeah, I have like one of the most beautiful women in the world on my back. Haters be hating, son. Ding, and then like no. So it's from the movie. It's movie. They smile and ding.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like the Orbitz commercials.
I thought you went like this because I just saw you out of the corner of my eye. I was like, is he ringing a bell?
Am I ringing a bell? I don't know. It's that time of year where you see those people ringing bells everywhere. God, be more annoying begging for money. But it's based on the Wonder Woman from the movies, obviously, so it's based on Gal Gadot as far as the costume goes. But it's a really cool little gift. They only set you back about $20, and it's a good size for $20. So little vinyl figurines, make great gifts for now. And it's a big box, so you can like buy it, wrap it, and people be like, oh my god, look at this big box they got me. And then it's a smaller toy. And they're still going to be stoked because it's Wonder Woman on a smiling horse. Come on. Movie realization?
Yes.
So we've shown these on the show a couple of different times, mainly because we had gotten restock of the movie realization stuff. It's the Bandai movie realization line from Tamashii Nations. So it's the reimagining of Star Wars characters in like the samurai culture. This is obviously a repaint because they did a Boba Fett years ago and it had the Boba Fett, you know, everything, the armor. This is just Jango Fett. And so the great thing is that the Boba Fett now is getting really hard to get and getting a bit expensive. And a lot of people love Jango just as much. And these are brand new, so they're only like $80 retail, which is great. I can't say enough good things about these figures, which is funny because they kind of stagnated for us for a little while. But over the last several weeks, we've actually been selling quite a bit of these, which is great. Because I know that there's a lot of bootlegs out there and a lot of like, you know, Chinese, whatever they're doing, selling them out the back door of the manufacturer or doing ones that don't have any quality control, whatever. I know you can go online and look them up for $30 or whatever and you think you're getting a great deal, but that's how they cancel stuff like this because if they're being bootlegged, nobody buys them. We stop buying them. So, but this one has been great so far. Sold a couple, and I can't wait to sell more. So yeah, get them before they're gone because the Boba Fetts were gone in a hurry. So
they also do make really good gifts for like collectors,
especially Star Wars collectors, because a lot of them out there will collect a lot of Black Series and a lot of like vintage stuff. If you need something different, the movie realization line is a good way to go. So you can get something for your Star Wars fan and something different, and maybe start them on a new part of their collection they didn't even know about. So you could be heroes just for one day.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
So,
Next.
Play Arts Kais. It's really funny because if you go back to a few shows that I've done, I've talked about how we don't get Play Arts Kais anymore because they don't sell and the bootleg market is out of hand. But come on, it's Black freaking Panther. So, the reason we got this one is because they don't make enough Black Panther merchandise yet. There will be a lot more when the movie starts rocking and rolling. We'll get some Marvel Legends stuff. I like the Play Arts Kai stuff. It's basically Square Enix designing Marvel and DC characters as if they appeared in games like Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts, you know? So with him, it fits really well because from Civil War movie, you know that's more of armor-based thing. It's not just him wearing spandex. So this is more of an armor-based kind of, I guess, design to him. Lots of different hands. Is there 2 different heads or just one? Here's just one head, but multiple sets of hands. Highly posable, but he will set you back about $150.
He does come with various different knives, like sharp objects.
Yeah, lots of little knives that he can pose with, and then they usually come with a stand as well. The stands in these things are just okay. I don't know if they've changed the stands to make them a little better. I personally prefer NECA stands for figures like this. NECA stands seem to be a little more fun. So, but Play Arts Kai Black Panther, $150. It is the business for sure. Going to a little bit more of an affordable line, the Marvel Gallery line we've promoted quite a bit on this show, mainly because it's affordable. You know, they're PVC figures. They usually range between $45-$50. This is the Sam Wilson Captain America version. The cool thing is that yes, he comes with the wings. They're not attached right away. You attach them later. Save them on shipping costs, obviously, because the box, if you were to put the thing together, his wings would probably go out to here. So it's a really big figure, and it's really great for $45. You really can't beat it, especially if you're looking for something that's like, okay, I like this guy, he's pretty cool. I'll get you something in the $50 range. I'm not getting you something in the $150 range because you don't like that person that much. But we love the Marvel Gallery lines. They do a really good job with the paints and everything. So.
Yeah, I love them because broke,
There you
affordable,
yeah.
and amazing.
We pay her plenty of money. Don't worry about it.
I just spend it very easily on gas.
They will be doing an X-23 Laura Wolverine figure.
I did not know this.
Yeah, we got them on order. Yeah, they'll be sometime. I want to say in the next few months. It's like it'll be $45. So I mean, it's really affordable for what it is. But I'm getting one. I might need one. It's amazing.
I might need one.
From the Marvel Select line. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We've got a SpiderGwen figure. These I thought would be really, really popular and go really fast, but haven't had a ton of interest so far, but we'll see. There's only been a couple of different SpiderGwens out there. There's the Marvel Legends SpiderGwen, and then there's been the Bashojo that they've done, which is more of a statue, and also an artifact statue, which is really great. It's a cool little figure though for $25. It's bigger than the Marvel Legends are normally, and then obviously she comes with like a broken robot thing that sits behind her. So even if you you don't like the figure that much, the broken robot thing's pretty cool, and you can use that for just about any other figure. So unless you're have another robot in front of a broken robot, then it's like robot on robot crime, and you shouldn't promote that because that's going down a slippery slope. It's going down a dark hole. So yeah,
that makes me really sad.
Robot on robot crime. Yeah, man. Watch Blade Runner. You'll see.
I actually don't like Blade Runner.
Wow.
Most people get mad at me when I say that.
I'm gonna have to edit that out, man. I don't want to deal with the hate mail. And apparently, the internet nowadays, people are really nasty. When did that start?
I also don't like Arby's French fries.
That one you can get away with, I guess.
They're not very good. They're soggy. I had them for lunch.
Ugh. Are you talking about like the curly fries?
Yeah.
Yeah. When they're packed down in there, they get really soggy really fast. Yeah.
People get mad at me when I say that.
Something that we're only going to have briefly, and I can tell you it's going to be gone because we ordered about 5 of them, and this is the last one. It's the previews exclusive Mezco 112 Black Adam. If you follow the 112 stuff, we've been waiting for this guy for a long time. We finally got him in, and they've sold like gangbusters. Like I said, we got 1 left, and that's going to be it. The other 112s we did receive this week, but unfortunately, because we got allocated pretty heavy, I'm not really going to show them off on the show because it's kind of teasing. But we did get the Red Sun Superman, and we did get the regular Superman. They were both really cool, but like I said, we were allocated so heavy on them that they were already gone before I even had a chance to put them on the shelf. So next week we will have one of the Red Skull too, which kind of says a weird question of how much Red Skull merchandise is too much Red Skull merchandise, because technically it's kind of having Nazi memorabilia. So, but I understand, Cap's got to punch somebody.
Yes.
With the previous exclusive, once again, only available to people with previous accounts, the Black Adam, it comes with 2 different heads. I think just 1 head, several different hands, and then it comes with like a lightning bolt that kind of strikes his chest. And then it also comes with a really nice stand. The stands for the Mezco figures are really, really nice. And hard tin. They don't do those except for like the exclusive stuff. So the tins are really cool. They look great in the shelf. So grab a Black Adam if you can, either from us or your local comic shop. Because once they're gone, I can tell you, look at what happened with the Punishers, man.
Seriously.
They shot way up in price. So even if you're just looking to invest, I mean, it's a great line to invest in so far. And I don't think they're getting any more. Last Friday, we had a visit from the import fairy. He's the guy who comes in and brings us some of our import stuff so we can get them directly from Japan, opposed to having to go through a secondary market and then take forever to get here. Amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech line. We've had the Wolverine on this show before. We've had the Deadpool. We've had the Spider-Man and then the SpiderGwen. This is Magneto. It's more of a classic 90s take, like if Jim Lee was drawing him. The cool thing is he's got these sweet things that goes on his hands that are magnets, so you can put like all sorts of metal stuff on his hands. Yeah, that's what the paper clips are for. Yeah.
That's awesome!
And they do it, like, they look like little plastic things and then a magnet, so, like, it looks like he's using his power, like, back in the 90s, where he's like, so it's really fun. So you can use them, like, on your desk, too. But these things are highly posable, really, really cool, and I can tell you, he comes with 2 different heads, a couple of different sets of hands, and then, obviously, his magic stuff, mutant power, and, they're great figures, man. And just like the Wolverine one, I have a feeling we've had 3 of them. This is our last one. He gonna be gone. So what?
Logan, please.
Yeah, right. I know, which is weird. It's like, why is he? But yeah, if you get the Wolverine, you can do the classic where he's like sucking the adamantium out of him and stuff. But this line has been really cool, especially the X-Men stuff. They have announced a Carnage for that line, and then also Captain America, and we have them all on order. So fear not, true believer. We will have them. Other things from the Magic Import Fairy, we got Broadside, the Japanese release, and then Six Shot, the Japanese release. The only reason I wanted to show off the Six Shot is for one, it's Six Shot, so he turns into like 6 different toys, which, I mean, come on. But I love this box. It's more of like the very classic Japanese packaging, and I just like the Takara Tomy packaging way more. Same thing with like the Broadside, it's just cooler. I just like it a lot better. Like, there's nothing wrong with the stuff they do from Hasbro, but Takara Tomy just seems like they put a lot more design into it. So this one will set you back right around $85, but that's out the door. We pay the tax for you. The Broadside is going to be $62, which is like a weird price point, but $62, and then he also comes like a little Headmaster guy too. Those are super cool, and we only have like one each in stock because we don't go crazy with the import stuff because it's expensive. We get it, and a lot of stuff they released in the States that are cheaper. So, is that it for the toys?
That's it.
One other thing we got, if you head over to the Warp 9 Instagram or Warp 9 Facebook page, it's just Warp 9 Comics in either of those, you'll see pictures of the Hot Toys Hulkbusters we got this week. We had 2 of them. They're both gone. They were about $825 a piece, and we're surprised they went so fast, but boy, are we happy they did, because we had a lot of money tied up in those things.
They were huge.
And they were gigantic. Like I said, you can go to the Warp 9 Comics Instagram page. I took a selfie with the thing so you can see it like over my shoulder, so you can see how big it is. But it was almost 3 feet tall. It was mostly die cast and some plastic. Came with like 15 different watch batteries, so you can make the eyes light up, the hands light up, the feet light up. I mean, it
comes with its own screwdriver, so you can get the watch batteries in without shredding the screws.
And the idea of it is supposed to open all the way, so you can take a full-size Hot Toy Iron Man and put it inside of that armor, and then close the armor up. So, I mean, it was no joke, man. It was crazy. I showed it to a few people, and we had a guy in today, and he was hemming and hawing about it, but, you know.
He was like,
the bottom line
I'm taking it. He's like, it's mine. I can't leave the store
you gotta
without
buy it. You know, like we were telling him, like, we're not getting it anymore, and that's the kind of thing that I have a feeling, because it was expensive to make, I don't know if they're going to make any more of those. In the future, if they're going to do a different version of one or something, because I know there's a Hulkbuster in the Infinity Wars movie, so I don't know if they're going to make another one, considering this one took it's from Age of Ultron. It took 2 years for this thing to come out.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's a great piece for Hot Toys collectors. So if you can get one, I would get one, because I have a feeling it's going to like double or triple in price eventually. So.
And to be honest, the photos on the Facebook and Instagram page that he posted, it doesn't look as big as it actually is in those photos. And it looks big in those photos. I walked in this morning and was like, holy crap, that's a large box.
Yeah, with the box, it was gigantic. You know, I had no place to put it. I had to clear space on the counter, because I can't, the way the store is set up is we have like these black shelving units that we use that go into the pegboard. I couldn't put it on one of those.
That thing would have torn the entire wall off.
Yeah. Apparently there's a video on YouTube of somebody taking one of those and putting it inside of one of the IKEA cases that we got, and it completely destroyed it, because those things are only like rated for like 15 pounds on each shelf, and this thing's like 25 or 30 pounds. So it was their own goddamn fault for doing that, but yeah, I mean, you gotta be smart when it comes to this stuff.
This is why you read the IKEA instructions. I know they're all in Swedish, but like, read it anyways. Figure it out.
Every time you read it, all you hear is like the Swedish chef in the back. And it's like, what? No, wait, the shelf? Racist. The shelf? That's not racist. It's straight up facts. What does the Swedish chef sound like? What does he sound like?
I still feel like that's racist.
Where is that chef from? Sweden. They all talk like that. I've seen it. From the Swedish chef on the Muppets, which have taught me a lot about society. Which means time for comics.
Yes!
First things first, we're going to talk about some DC stuff. I just read this. It is Superman number 37. It is by Tomasi, Gleason, Jimenez, and Sanchez. It is part 1 of the Super Sons of Tomorrow. Boy, is that book great. Holy crap. It's going to be a crossover between Superman and Superboy, and I think like Superman and the Super Sons book. And if you've been following Detective Comics, when Tim Drake was kind of locked up from Mr. Oz, there was another Tim Drake from a different timeline that was there as well. He tried to change the timeline. Batman and crew stopped him. Well, now Tim Drake has decided he wants to change his timeline by doing something to the Superman family. And I'll kind of leave it from there. He is devious, he is very, very smart, and he's willing to use a gun, this version of Tim Drake. And he goes after Batman, and he goes after Superman. And I can tell you, as far as action goes, it's absolutely phenomenal. And it's laying the groundwork for what's going to be one hell of a crossover. So brava to everyone involved, because it was impressive. She can tell you, I was sitting here reading it, and I had 2 moments where I was like, holy crap! Right? You know,
yes.
I was like, that was unbelievable.
He flipped pages and was like, oh crap.
I was like, oh crap.
I don't know.
I was like, whoa. I was like, this
sign.
is cool. Like, it's a great book. So I know everyone's kind of burned out on crossovers and yada yada, but I mean, Superman and Super Sons going together, I mean, come on, man. It's like, it's fine. It's like herring and pickle. You know, pickled herring. It's great. It's just great. Batman number 37. What?
I just
You
don't
hating
like.
on a
I
pickled
don't
herring?
like pickled herring.
Now that's racist.
You're racist.
Bork, bork, bork. Yeah, you don't even know what that means, do you? No, you don't. Batman number 37. Double date. So in the Batman book 2 weeks ago, I was talking about how much I loved the book. It was so great. This one's even better. It's exactly what it is. Superman, Batman, Catwoman, and Lois Lane go on a double date where they talk about Batman's pending nuptials. I know. Boring, right? But, oh, I'm telling you. It is so good because of the way it kind of deconstructs the characters together and the way that they talk. And the subplot through this entire thing is Superman telling Batman that if they ever played baseball, he would throw the ball right by him because Batman doesn't know what he's getting into. And Batman's telling Superman, like, it's just physics. Given the right scenario, I'd be able to do this. Until eventually, obviously, towards the end, they decide to do that shit, and I'm not going to ruin it. But it is such a good issue. There's no big bad. There's no, like, we've got to stop the villain. It's just straight up, what would happen if Batman and Superman decided to go on a double date with their significant others to a carnival? Not just any carnival, a carnival that required you to be in cosplay to be there.
That sounds like my kind of place.
It's so good. It's such a great book. It's so much fun. And don't get me wrong, I'll be happy when they get back to a little more of like the action in Batman. But this little subplot with Catwoman and Batman has been such a great read, man. Tom King's killing it. I think it's Tom King and Mr. R is correct. Oh, no, it's King Man, and then obviously the hardest working woman in comics, Jordi Belair, doing the colors. So check it out. It's so much fun, man. It's just, if you're a fan of just good comics, that's Batman right now. Just such good comics. Do you want to talk about Tales for Suspense?
Sure.
It's got Hawkeye in it, so you know it's like right in her wheelhouse.
My thing.
It's a bullseye.
Tales of Suspense number 100 with Winter Soldier and Hawkeye.
Funny thing about Tales of Suspense number 100. Tales of Suspense number 100, originally Tales of Suspense was Captain America. Tales of Suspense number 100 was supposed to be Captain America's book, so then instead it turned into Captain America 100. So then Tales of Suspense only goes to 99.
Yeah. Captain America's original book started at 100.
Correct. And then,
so, like...
Yeah, so it's really great that now, like, Tales of Suspense number 100 is back, but it's not a Captain America thing. So,
yes.
Anyway, sorry. Just a little anecdote. It's fun to drop comics knowledge.
Okay, so this one kind of, I mean... It starts off with Hawkeye trying to figure out who is killing these former Hydra officials, in a way.
Coming out of Secret Empire.
Yes, it comes straight out of Secret Empire, and deals with the whole, is Natasha Romanoff truly dead?
Because she's a super spy, you know.
Because it's Natasha Romanoff, it's Black Widow.
She can fake that shit all day long.
Of course.
She learned that second day in the Red Room. How to fake your superhero death.
I feel like that's day one.
Yeah, probably day one. I don't know, I feel on day one is when they break their spirit, because it's Russia.
That's probably true.
Mm-hmm. Soviet Russia, internet searches you.
With this one, there's a lot of humor from Clint, because how can you have Clint Barton without just straight up ridiculous humor?
Of course.
A lot of sarcasm.
Oh yeah, big time.
Like you. Well, with this one, it kind of starts out following Clint and trying to figure out, he thinks he's figured it out when there's kind of a flip of a switch. He ends up teaming up with a very interesting human being.
The Winter Soldier.
To try to figure this out, he learns a few facts about kind of how the Winter Soldier and Black Widow were both trained, and it's starting off their adventure of trying to figure out this whole mystery of what actually happened to Natasha.
And they're not really, like, best of buddies.
No.
You know, they're kind of...
Clint
Winter Soldier's a loner.
he hates him.
Yeah, Clint doesn't like him very
Legitimately
much, and Winter Soldier's got a dog in the fight because obviously Natasha Romanoff was like one of his one true loves.
Yeah.
So it goes from there. Clint's operating more on like a partner standpoint, and then Winter Soldier's, you know, vengeance.
Winter Soldier is Winter Soldier. I mean,
right? Yeah, I love
what
Buffy.
else?
Buffy's great stuff.
Buffy.
So far so good. I'm really hoping that it's not. I would love this book if it's like, okay, the title of it is Tales of Suspense featuring Hawkeye and Winter Soldier. I hope it goes on for like 4 or 5 issues, and then it's Tales of Suspense starring maybe somebody else,
Yeah.
you know? Because I know we were talking earlier about how they canceled the America book and they canceled Hawkeye. The Marvel 2-in-1, which we're going to talk about in a second here, and Tales of Suspense are a perfect vehicle for some of these books that just aren't getting footing on their own. They're perfect for characters to be used again, like the Iceman book's getting canceled. People are upset about that. You can take Iceman and put him in Tales of Suspense.
Yes.
If you keep the book going, and this is where like I implore Marvel, look, some books just aren't going to sell. Don't worry about it. It's the same way I feel about the kids' books. Publish them fucking anyway, you know?
Yeah.
You're a billion-dollar corporation. Not everything can be winners. And I understand no business in the world operates with things at a loss, but sometimes you need a loss in order to kind of gain more things going forward.
Like, with Tales of Suspense having like a Hawkeye America team up, or even bringing back Young Avengers for a quick storyline.
Instead of putting them back in the toy box, taking the toy box and then using them, and then if it catches on, then use them for maybe a future miniseries. I just think it's a vehicle that could work really well in today's now and age where people jump from books like crazy and everybody's attention span is like that because of our stupid computer devices that we now call phones for some reason. It's a great vehicle for new readers and older readers alike to be able to read about adventures of some of their favorite characters without a shitty 6-issue miniseries that they don't enjoy.
Yeah, I feel like this is a great place to start on that kind of idea of reading mini-stories, and this is a great story to kind of jump off into.
Yeah, it's really well done.
This Tales of Suspense.
Yeah, so it's Red Ledger Part 1. It was, see, this is what I hate when they do this.
I know. They put it, like, in the middle of the book somewhere.
Yeah, when they don't do the title sequence right away, and they put it, like, 50 pages in or something. And they're like, oh, yeah, we'd love to give you guys your props, but when it's 6 pages into the book, I know.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 pages into the book before you get anybody's credit is a little frustrating. Written by Matthew Rosenberg. Artist was Travel Foreman. Travel? Foreman? Your name's Travel? Cool. Hippie parents. I dig it. Color artist is Rochelle Rosenberg. I'm assuming there might be some sort of relation to Matthew. The letterer was VC's Clayton Cowles, and the cover art was done by Marco Cicchetto, and his covers this week have been woo! There's this one, and then there was the 1 in 25 variant, which was also beautiful, and we sold that guy like right away.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that one, which I'm very sad about.
Cool. You can look it up online, you know.
Will do.
It's basically me telling you to do that, but also other people if you so choose. The other big book that we were just talking about, obviously, with the Tales of Suspense, we're getting Marvel 2-in-1 back. And a mainstay of the older Marvel 2-in-1 was always the Thing. It was the Thing, teaming up with somebody. Right now, we don't have a Fantastic Four book. Yet. Now that, what Dan predicted a year ago has come true, and Disney has bought all the Fox properties, that is if it goes through the government, which they can make it really hairy, but we'll see. We might be getting the Fantastic Four back, but until then, we have a 2-in-1. The Human Torch and Thing aren't talking right now. Johnny's kind of in a dark place. He misses his sister. He misses his brother-in-law. He misses his nieces and nephews. And he's been kind of a loner. And he's doing things that could be constituted like a little bit of self-harm in a way. And Spider-Man's worried about him, so Spider-Man goes and gets Ben. Ben shows up, and they kind of have a heart-to-heart. And they decide they're going to go up on another Fantastic Four-type adventure. And start exploring more worlds and helping other timelines. It's great. It's everything you love about like classic Fantastic Four. Only it's got the blue-eyed, ever-loving Thing, and it's got the hothead, firebutt Human Torch.
Firebutt?
Where's the fire come from?
That's a good point.
Coming out the butt.
Fun fact: I had a crush on Human Torch when I was little.
He's got a hot ass.
Woo!
I feel like I should take a lap. Should I take a lap around the store for that one?
Yes.
We got to give the credits.
Oh, right.
It's written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Jim Chung, art by... Sorry. Oh, they did like a million different covers for this thing, too. I forgot. Art by Jim Chung. Inkers were John Dell and Walden Wong, and the colorist was Frank Martin. BC's Joe Carmagna was the letterer. I'm not going to go through all the different covers that they did because there was like 10 different covers of this thing, so... That one was done by Jim Chung, and I've always liked Jim Chung's work. He did Young Avengers back in the day.
Yes, which is my favorite.
So, good jumping on point for Miss Marvel this week.
Teenage Wasteland.
Which, surprisingly, lack of Miss Marvel in this issue.
Yeah, actually. It's part 1 of Teenage Wasteland. I I picked this one up because Miss Marvel's a character I really love, but don't read a lot of her books.
Oh, dude, what are you doing with your life?
Okay, I have a lot of books I want to read and very little amount of money to get them to read them.
Plus, she uses Tinder, so she's got a lot going
on
in her
life. No, I don't. I haven't had Tinder on my phone in like a year.
Like a year, people. Anyway, enough about her.
I'm a lonely person. So back to Miss Marvel. This one, surprisingly, as Dan said, there isn't a lot of Miss Marvel in this issue. It kind of focuses more around her friends who don't have any clue where Kamala is. They also don't know whatever happened to Miss Marvel, so they've kind of, each of them have been going out in disguise, trying to make it seem like Miss Marvel is still around. And it takes place just with them and trying to figure out what happened to her. And it's the start of them literally going out and trying to find Miss Marvel. It's really interesting. Being somebody who hasn't read the Miss Marvel books in a while, I have no clue what's going on. And I think that's exciting. Not knowing where she is.
It's
and
a good jumping on point. There was the story arc that happened in the last issue. That end of the last issue had she had a little bit of a setback in her superheroing career here, and has decided that she feels like she might be more of a detriment than a hero. So she's decided to kind of take a step back.
So she's not around.
Correct. Yeah. So, but her friends are very much wanting Miss Marvel to be around.
Trying to find her.
So yeah, and they go talking to her brother, and her brother's being real cagey about the thing and everything. So it's really cool. It is a good jumping on point for anybody who's never read Miss Marvel. But we implore you.
And as always,
read some of the older volumes too.
Yeah,
they're great.
And as always, the art in Miss Marvel is always just one of my favorites. Do you want to give the credits? Because I can't read names.
Yeah,
I butcher them all.
The writer was G. Willow Wilson, who's been writing this book forever. Nico Leon was the artist, Ian Herring color artist, VC's Joe Carmagna was the letterer. Boop. Couple of indie stuff this week. We had a Mike Mignola, Adam Hughes Hellboy one-shot that's all about Krampus. Krampusnacht. It's got great interior arts, obviously, from Adam Hughes. It's a really fun, just Christmas issue. If you like Hellboy, it's more of the same. It's adventuring. He eventually goes into a big beat-em-up with Krampus and goes from there. It's I love when they do little one-shot Christmas issues like this. It gets you into holiday spirit, Hellboy does his thing, beats up Krampus, saves the day. I mean, come on. It's from Dark Horse. It's just absolutely fantastic. So if you're a fan of, obviously like the Krampus myths or any of Hellboy's stuff, I mean, come on. It's more of the same. It's more great stuff out of Mike Mignola. And obviously Adam Hughes killed it with the interiors for sure. So it's a fun one, which is weird because I know Adam Hughes is known for he draws like the comic babes, he draws the covers, and all that. So it was kind of cool to see him just do Hellboy, and it worked really well. It looked great, and the colorist did a bang up job too, man. Story and art by Adam Hughes there. Well, story by Mike Mignola, art by Adam Hughes. Adam Hughes did the colors too. So letters by Clem Robbins, and then obviously the cover by Adam Hughes as well. So great little Christmas issue to read to the kids.
Please don't read this to your children.
Nah.
I don't even know what the rating is on this
There's no swearing. Hellboy is really easy. It just deals with, a lot of, it just deals like a lot of adult, I wouldn't say like adult scenarios, but, adult demons and, things like that. So it's definitely kind of an after 10 o'clock kind of crowd thing. From Aftershock, from Justin Jordan, Eleonora Carlini, Sylvia Today, and Marshall Dillon, we got Backaways #1. I've been kind of waiting for this book for quite a while here. It reminds me a bit of it's Harry Potter-esque in a way, where there's this world where there's a lot of different there's no school obviously, but it's dealing with a teenage girl who kind of falls into this world of magic and make believe. I won't say make believe, but it's very there's demons, there's all sorts of stuff. They introduce quite a bit at first without telling you everything, which I really enjoy. So you get to explore this world as she explores this world. Her friend is missing. She decides to kind of investigate and see where she went. She doesn't know where she went. she ends up chasing this one woman who's the woman in the white there through a portal, and then ends up one-on-one with the demon, and it goes from there. So she is now in this place that she doesn't really know anyone, and she's searching for her friend. She knows a little bit of magic, but not enough that's going to get her by in this world, which is primarily magic-based. Because it's so expansive and such a big world, obviously I'm not doing a lot of it justice, but if you're looking for something new, especially if you like more of like the magic-y kind of stuff, if you're a fan of the show The Magicians, obviously a fan of Harry Potter, or even if you liked Mystic U, the book that came out for DC was Zatanna Going to School, that came out a couple weeks ago, which I absolutely adore. This is another great book for you, for sure. Aftershock is a very underrated company, and they slowly keep getting more and more of a foothold. And honestly, a lot of the stuff they're doing right now is almost better than the stuff that Image has been releasing recently. Nothing. It's not really a shot at Image. It's just I've been enjoying the Aftershock stuff more. It's just the way it is. So
I might have to read this.
Yeah, it's really cool. I would check it out for sure. But yeah, if you're looking for something new, check it out. But obviously, that's a lot of stuff to deal with. And it's a Christmas holiday, so Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
And Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa, all the other stuff that the magic one. Yeah, that one. Obviously, follow us, Warp 9 Comics, otherwise Warp 9 Comics at Facebook, Extra Secret Gaming on Twitch. It's basically, twitch.tv/FENRIR_ESG. Or you can download the Extra Secret Podcast, which is me and EA Henson waxing poetical about all sorts of dumb shit. And that's available on iTunes, otherwise extrasecretpodcast.com. Any questions, you can shoot me an email. You can either email the store, warp9comics@gmail, or extrasecretgaming@gmail. I'll answer whatever you want or whatever. So yeah, if you like some of the stuff you saw, try to get it from a local store. Don't just order it online. Ordering online is boring.
Please and thank you. Support local businesses. Yay!
So anyway, have a good holiday. We'll be back next week. We might do it live next week. We'll see, because this going straight to YouTube thing is a little less stressful. So, but we'll see. Anyway, though, have a good holiday. I hope you get everything you asked for.
Bye, guys.
Bye.